Today's talk is inspired by a Reiki session that I just recently had with a family. And shout out to this beautiful family. I'm so blessed for the opportunity to work with you. And a big thank you to each person that recommends Ingunak Yoga for our services. You know, I'm always talking about how word of mouth is one of the best referrals that you can receive as a business, because that person is like literally vouching and putting, their name on the line for you. So when somebody does refer you, make sure that you show up, because it's not just you, it's that person. Like if that person was referred to you by one of their good friends, then yeah, you want to make sure that you uphold the standard and just do your best. So with that being said, just recently, a person contacted me. He wanted to have a Reiki session for his fiance. His fiance was coming into town, and he wanted to have a private session for her. I'm like, yes, absolutely. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, this man, he wants to set up a session for his fiance. He's going the extra mile, setting it up, paying for it, everything like that. So it was, in my mind, I'm like, yes, okay. No. So they get here to this session. He told me it was going to be a surprise, but not in the way that I was surprised. So they got here, we're sipping tea, just vibing out. And then I get ready to, start the session, and I start off with some basic questions of like, hey, have you heard of Reiki? Have you had a session before? Whatever. So I look at her, I say, have you heard of Reiki before? Doom, doom, doom. Man, listen, the energy, the shift, immediately, it was like this face that she made that was just like, absolutely not. So I'm energy sensitive. I felt it immediately. I'm just like, what's going on? But I'm thinking all of this in my head. And so come to find out, she did not want Reiki. She actually told him no. She told him no. She said that, she wanted to get to know the person first. She wanted to develop a relationship and rapport, all these things. So I didn't find that out till after the session, but I was like, okay, I'm just like, because it was just a shift. Like, I guess they had a conversation prior, like married couples do. And I wasn't there for that conversation. So she ended up going through with the session. It was a very beautiful session. And she actually enjoyed the session. But here's the thing. Consent is key. Consent is so necessary. So when your partner, if your partner says no, listen to that, honor that, listen to that, honor that. It might be a reason, and then explore it, like get curious, maybe it's no for right now. Maybe the no is a new opportunity to explore and to get closer and to communicate. So I just want to say that do not, if you talk to somebody about getting a Reiki session and they say no, then that's just what it is, okay? That's just what it is. Allow that to be no, like, and let that be okay. Let that be okay. So what is Reiki? What is Reiki? I started practicing hands-on healing, quantum touch, Reiki, before I knew what it was. I was a young girl, and my grandmother used to take me to different people's houses whenever they had a loved one that passed away, and then I would come in and pray and lay hands, and, it was just a beautiful thing. At the time, I'm just, yes, Holy Spirit, this, that, and the third. But after growing up and hearing this word, Reiki, I'm like, oh, that is what I was practicing. The hands-on, the laying of the hands, this, that, and the third. So what is Reiki? The best way to explain Reiki would be, Reiki is universal energy. Universal chi. It is energy that is directly from source, right? So Reiki is nothing that you own. It's nothing that I own. It's available for everyone. That's another beautiful thing about Reiki. It's available for any and everyone. Reiki, it can be done hands-on. It can also be done hands-off. I've had the pleasure of sharing this practice, distance Reiki, and having the same, if not, I don't want to say better, but the same results, but with that person being in the studio or, us doing a distance Reiki session. For me, when I'm practicing Reiki, when I'm offering a Reiki session, I like to tell people nothing that, like, people often ask, are you holding on to that energy or does that jump onto you? Absolutely not. So Reiki is not designed for you to pull energy from anyone or even to give energy to anyone. Reiki is neutral. The energy is neutral, so it's not something that you are controlling or performing. And I really want us to keep that in mind. Sometimes ego can be a big factor and you're just thinking like, yeah, I healed this person, but you didn't. They allowed themselves to be open and receptive to that moment and they did the work. You were a conduit. Yeah, you were there to assist in their journey, but you didn't heal them. They healed themselves. And so whenever I do attunements or I have workshops on Reiki, I'm very clear about, this is not you. I don't want people to get into the mindset of thinking like they're God or they're playing God. Nah, that's not that. The way that it works is that, you're raising your frequency to the most high frequency. Love. You're raising your frequency as the practitioner, as the conduit. You are raising your vibration to the most high frequency, and then, only then, okay, is that energy pass through. And now you're connecting your aura and you're pushing out the most high frequency. And this person is then able to raise their vibration and their frequency to the most high frequency. And that's when the healing begins because they have raised their vibration. You ever felt low or sad or down? That vibration is heavy, right? What can really happen in that vibration? Sickness, sadness, bad health, just all the different things, mental clutter, just every and anything. So as the Reiki practitioner, you are there acting as a conduit. You are holding up a mirror and just reflecting. Okay. So this is not you. You are not playing God, none of that. Reiki is not massage. Okay. Some people think that it's a massage. It's not. We're not massage therapists. We're Reiki practitioners. It's hands-on or hands-off assist. It's not a massage. You're not getting naked. You know what I'm saying? I've I've heard a lot of different things like, oh, do I have to get naked? Absolutely not. I'd prefer that you didn't. Actually, I'm not a massage therapist, and I'm not gonna rub you or anything like that. It's very much so a consistent laying on of the hands, breathing. Wherever your attention goes, the energy flows. So breathing and being intentional about each chakra and waiting for the signal. As a Reiki practitioner, you're going to feel, you're going to know, okay, it's time to move on. I'm complete here, time to move on, right? The more that you practice on self, the more that you'll be able to see and notice different things, right? I love Reiki because it's so gentle, it's so beautiful, and it's just a gentle practice. I think that the more that we uncover and see exactly, what it is that we're offering, I think the more open and receptive our community can be. I think that everyone can benefit from a Reiki session. Reiki is absolutely beautiful and consent is absolutely necessary. So that's all that I have today on Reiki. I am often offering attunements. So check out theblackyogitribe.org if you're in Birmingham, Alabama. come check us out at Inglenook Yoga Studio. We are Birmingham, Alabama's very first Black-owned yoga and wellness studio. So come check us out, and I would love to work with you if we are aligned to do so.